There we go. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today. So as you can see, the scenery changed. I'm filling in for Rita for the day. So we're gonna start with a warm up like Rita would, and we'll practice from cross hands through the heel turn and heel kick, okay? So we're gonna start at cross hands and go all the way through to what we worked on last week. And we're gonna use the method that Rita showed. So that means stepping behind you and turning, okay? So let's start at cross hands, find a comfortable position. Feet are shoulders width apart. Right arm on the outside, sinking down. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shifting, turn. Separate the arms. Step out, open up, and strike with the left palm. Circle the arms, connect out, and turn, roll back. Left hand to center of the right forearm, press out. Open up the arms, come back over a ball, sit up the palms, and push. Fist under elbow, flatten the arms, show pulling, turn, push down, relax the left foot, press out to the side. Step, warding off, show rotate for grabbing, pull down, lifting up, making a fist, empty stance on the heel. Repulse monkey. Hand in front of the shoulder when the foot touches, one arm forward, one back, number one. Number two, rotating, step, push off the front heel. Last one, touch, hand in front of the shoulder, and strike. Diagonal flying. Big circle with the arms, closed step, turning, splitting energy. Raise hands and step forward, open up, empty stance on the heel, turning at the waist. White crane, arms circle down, left arm comes on top, spread your wings, touching with the toes. Brush knee, 2 circles, step, brush, and strike. Needle at C-bottom, shift forward, pull back, lift the toes, touch with the ball, and sink down. Left hand to right wrist, bow stance, fan through the back. Turn body, protecting the head, pressing down, making a fist, chop, touching, weight moves forward with the strike. Parry, block, and punch. Connect out, parry down, parry to the side, hold back your opponent and block and punch. Step forward, grasp the bird's tail, ward off, right. Roll back, press, and push. Single whip. So pulling with the left arm, push down, make a hook, block, and strike. Wave hands like clouds, move back, turn. Show pulling, open the hook, shoulder width, using your waist. So the arms go to the side, waist goes to the corner. Last one, double wide, stepping corner direction, make a hook, single whip. High pat on horse, shift back, open the hook, right hand in front of the shoulder, touch with the toes, striking to the throat. Separation kicks, arms open, foot comes in, crossing and touch, separate, weight moves forward. Close the arms, stand up, look, kick, bend the knee, change the arms. Sitting down, cross the arms, separate, weight moves forward. Close, stand up, look, kick, bend the knee. Turning to the right, left arm wards off. The leg straightens. We're going to step behind, turn, arm comes in, stand up, left heel kick, bend the knee. Okay. Gonna get rid of some loud puppy toys. Okay. How did everyone do? Good. Hey, everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you all. Okay. Do we have any questions on everything up until that point? How does everyone feel about Rita's method? Is that helping? Because that's really great. I just learned that from her, and it's awesome. All right. So today we're going to spend the day focusing on that heel turn. Okay. The heel turn is one of the most difficult things. Like Rita said, we all have a tendency to go lean forward or back. And it's kind of like that ballerina thing of lifting from the crown of the head and spinning on an axis or pole, okay? So we know Rita's method. There's two other methods for doing this movement. One is the more standard method, and the other is the more challenging method for our balance, okay? So when we do this movement, we start from our separation kick. I'm going to tilt down just a little bit so you guys can see the footwork a little bit better. So we're starting at separation kick. I'm going to go from the opposite direction. So we're in our separation kick. The more traditional method is turning, warding off, straightening our leg, and rotating our right palm. All of the methods have this, okay? The traditional method is turning from our waist and touching, and our right arm comes in and we sink down, okay? Then from there, we stand up and we do a heel kick. Now this method is a lot easier than the second method or third method, because we already learned Rita's, okay? When we do this method, this is what we would do in competition. This is what we would do in a group format. So then everyone times out together, okay? So does anyone have any questions on the arms in terms of warding off, rotating, and then how our right arm comes inside? Do we feel confident with the arms? Okay. All right. That's a big part of it. So from there, let's work on the turn a little bit. So I will go from the normal direction, and everyone try this method, okay? So make sure your footwork is correct, that we're less than corner. We stand up, or we can stay touching. It's your choice. Lifting up, We're going to turn to the right, warding off with the left arm, right arm's palm up, the leg is extended out. Use your waist, turn, touch, right arm comes inside. I'd like everyone to look down at your right foot now. How did we do with the placement? Where did it land? Because this is very important. We want it to land corner direction, okay? Because when we stand up, our heel kick is going to the straight direction, okay? Let's do it again. Now, when you looked at your footwork, you should be able to see if you weren't quite to corner, you need a little bit more of a turn. If you were too far to straight, ease off just a little bit, okay? So left separation kick, turn, straighten, turn from the waist, touch, sit down, stand up, heel, kick, bend the knee. How do we do? How does it feel?
Cheryl, I find that for balance, as I'm coming around, the edge of my right foot is touching down to kind of slow myself down and to balance. Is that
inside or outside edge?
Outside edge.
Okay, the weight on your foot is changing to the outside first and foremost, okay? So when we do this movement, and it is like a grip point, right? Because when we're turning on our heel, we have to like plant our foot back down and stop, right? It's not just gonna magically stop at the corner, but we want the weight to be even on our whole heel. We don't want to be leaning to the outside edge of it, okay? So when you do this movement, and you're here and you straighten, when you turn, try to think about your whole heel, okay? The toes are kind of hovering on the ground, but try to imagine your whole heel. So maybe, Allison, you want to focus on the inside a little bit, and maybe that'll compensate. And it might throw you off balance at first, but it might overcompensate for using the outside edge of your foot, okay? All right, Rebecca, what did you have?
I don't know Rita's style.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about Rita's style. Okay, great. So I don't know exactly where Rita learned this, but this is an amazing in-between for there's like 3 methods now, okay? So we're working on the second one. So Rita's method, okay? Rita's method is the same thing from here, but instead of turning, we step behind. And then we're going to turn on our right heel to where we need to be and then stand up, okay? So if I face this direction, I'll tilt my camera down again so you can see. I'm going to face away from you so you can see my footwork more. So we did separation kick. We turn and straighten. Rita's method is to step behind. Then turn on your right heel, relax your left foot, and then stand up and then kick.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a very good method.
It's it.
Okay, so it adds an extra step, but it essentially brings us into that T-step that we've done before.
Yeah.
Right, we can use it for Fair Lady, Parting the Wild Horse's Mane, there's all kinds of things. So it's about, instead of swinging your leg, you step behind and then turn your foot to the corner, okay? Let's try
question,
Yeah.
Question, Cheryl. If you want to do ranking,
Uh-huh.
can you do Rita's turn?
Ooh, good question. I do not know the answer. I will have to ask Nancy and get back to you, Yali, because I'm not sure. Nancy is one of the head judges, so she will know the answer for sure.
Okay.
And I think Rita might actually know the answer too. I think it was Rita or Didi who was one of the ranking judges as well. So I will ask and get back to you, but I know that the method that we're working on right now with the turn and touch That is the traditional method, okay? That is great for ranking. That is great for group practice, competition, everything, okay? So that, the one we're working on is definitely accepted. Rita's, I'm not sure, but I'll get back to you. Okay, let's practice again. So from our separation kick, let's make sure we have proper footwork, standing up, turning, straighten the leg, use your waist. Touch, right arm comes inside. Stand up, lift the toes, heel, kick, bend the knee. How did we do? Is it getting easier? Allison, was that better or worse?
My turn pooped out and I used my edge of my foot to finish it.
You know, there's all kinds of methods, especially, okay, so we're going to work on the next method too, which is balance, if anyone would like to try, okay? But especially with that method, I can't tell you how many times I've turned all the way and then had to micro adjust, like lift my heel or something, or it's just bound to happen. It's one of the hardest movements in the form, and sometimes we have to adjust accordingly. So don't feel bad when you adjust, because what that means is you know where your footwork should be so that you have a proper straight and corner direction for your footwork, which is what we're going for, right? Okay, let's do it again. From the separation kick, okay? So left leg's up, arms are up, leg and arm turn to the side, straighten, use your waist, touch, right arm inside, lift, heel, kick, bend the knee. Well, the end postures look great. But that's the thing, right? The magic of Tai Chi is what happens in between each posture. So, does anyone have any questions on this method? Are we feeling better about it at all? Okay. All right. So the final method is the method in which we challenge our balance the most. Okay. This is not required in any way. I love Sharon's shake. She's like, oh no. Okay. This one is literally if you want to. Okay. And the whole thing with this movement is it's the lifting through the crown of our head. And it's like when you're doing this turn, no matter which method you're doing, if you pick a point to look at after your turn, so when I start and then I stop, I kind of pick something on the wall and focus in on it. And that helps with the balance. And that's really what's going to help you with this next method. Okay. So the next method is the same arm movements as before. Okay. So we start in our separation kick and we stand up, same arms, turning, straightening. The difference being when we turn, we don't touch. It's a challenge, okay? You could see that I did a little hop, okay? So the key is using the waist, turning from the waist. And we're not winding up, so we're not swinging this way to swing this way, okay? After I do this, I turn, I straighten, and turn. And again, I'm picking something dead ahead to look at. Now it's lifting through the crown of the head. How many of us still look down when we're doing Tai Chi? If you don't know, you'll find out on this move. Okay? And when you look down, you fall forward a little bit. Okay? Because immediately, when we look down, our head goes down, right? Not many people look down and just look down with their eyes. Okay? And the thing about this is every surface that you do this method on is going to need a different amount of momentum. Okay? So like right now, my floor is very smooth, very slick. So I turn rather easily. But if I have shoes on carpet, like I did in the first time in section 2 when I taught this, you guys saw how I struggled and I had to really give a lot of force or momentum to turn. And that all comes from our waist, okay? So if you'd like to, let's try this method. If you know that this method is not for you, let's practice the other one, okay? Where we touch down. It's all acceptable, okay? It's the great part about Tai Chi. We adapt for where we are. That was great, Kiko. The biggest thing, okay, is literally lifting. And sometimes it's better to do less, because if we give too much momentum on this movement, then it's like what I was telling Allison, when you turn and you'll like use part of your foot to adjust. If you use too much momentum and you know, your toes come off the ground a little bit, right? Your foot's still close. We're not like this for a heel turn. But when you turn, you have to like suction cup your foot down. It's like you have to stop yourself if you have too much momentum. So sometimes it might be better to give a little bit less, okay? All right, so let's practice this, and then we're gonna practice everything together a couple of times, okay? So from the left separation kick, we're going to turn, straighten our leg, and then choose your method. Lifting up, heel, kick, bend knee. What were the results? Oh, Rebecca. You just keep practicing. That's what we do. Hi, Allie.
It's very hard to keep the left foot up.
Okay, so it is. But so the thing about this movement, we're not, how do I explain this? So, okay, so if I'm starting, I'm going to go from the normal direction, okay? So when I start here and I end up here, okay, the point at which I lift my leg is when it's to the corner. Then it starts lifting up. When my foot is set, okay? So I am not doing this turn and keeping my leg straight to here and then trying to lift up, okay? That's gonna make it very difficult. We straighten our leg, it's straight to the corner and then lifts. Can you see that? So the difference, if I turn and then try to lift, okay, when it's to straight, or I'm to corner, I'm going to the other corner behind me, and then it lifts from corner to straight.
Do you leave it straight if you're going to do the toe touch?
You're gonna bend it as you sink down. So it stays straight until the corner, same thing. So we're straight until the corner, and then it bends a little bit as we sink down. It doesn't stay straight leg, it bends and touches. Good question. Very good question. Okay, let's see, how does it feel? Okay, a little slower, Yali. Like try to move a little bit slower because you're kind of whipping around really fast. So try to slow it down a little bit. Give yourself a little bit more time to lift. Yeah, it's weight on the heel, right? So it's very difficult. It's looking really good though. Yes, and yes.
Oh,
Rebecca, that was great. It was. We're our own worst critics, right? This
Yes.
movement is very hard. It doesn't matter if you're planning on touching your foot or not. It's still a difficult movement. Allison, you did it. All right.
Is
Yes.
I had a question on the because I think I have in my head you sink down, you do the left toe touch. I'm tending to bend my right leg when I do that. Is it supposed to be bent slightly or straight?
When you toe touch, you'll be bent. But for the turn is straight, okay? So when we do the kick, we're straight. When we do the turn, we're straight and we sink down and bend both legs.
Okay,
So-
that's what it's doing. I thought it was
Yeah.
wrong. Okay.
No, that's totally right. So both legs are straight and then both legs are bent. And then you straighten as you stand up for the kick. Let's see. See, Yelly, that was good though. You were perfectly straight that time. Yes. Okay, Karen, I can't see your lower half, but your arms are beautiful. Okay. This is really good. This is a very difficult movement. And one of the only ways to get better at it is, unfortunately, to do it again and again. Okay. So let's take a break from doing that. Let's practice. Let's do from single whip, wave hands like clouds, up to this movement, okay? Let's not wear ourselves out. This is a lot of work on one leg, okay? We're gonna spend some time doing the form, all right? So let's start at single whip. Let's get the flow. Sometimes this helps our practice a lot. Nice bow stance, single whip. Shift back, turn. Wave hands like clouds. 2 circles. Using your waist. Arms come to the side direction. Last one is double wide. Corner direction. Single whip. High pat on horse. Shift back. Empty stance, striking to the throat. Arms open. Cross when they touch. Separate, weight moves forward. Close the arms. Stand up. Look. Kick. Bend the knee. Change the arms. Sink down. Touch. Cross. Separate. Close the arms. Stand up. Look. Kick. Bend the knee. Turning to the right. Straighten the leg. Choose your method. Heel. Kick. Bend the knee. How is it moving through all of those postures? Yes. Is it feeling better?
Yeah, it's coming.
It is, right? And it's just practice, okay? So we lifted our right leg or our left leg a lot. Let's just for 1 second, let's lift your right leg up. Let's even out your bodies, okay? So just find a comfortable position with your left foot. Let's lift up your right leg into a kick. Maybe we kick out a couple of times to bend the knee. Okay, I want you guys to feel balanced. So maybe we kick low, we lift back up. Just do a few kicks with your right leg. Balancing out the body. Okay, one more. Bend. Good. Do we feel a little bit more balance between our legs now? I know. Okay, does anyone have any questions at all on the turns? Because I think it looks really good from my perspective, at least. But it's all about how it feels, right? So here's the big question, and you might not know the answer. Are you breathing during the kicking section? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's one of the things that will actually make this movement more difficult. Okay. So let's start from single whip. let's focus on our breathing this time, okay? So we're gonna do wave hands like clouds again, everything. But instead of focusing on the arms or your legs, I want you to spend the whole time making sure you're breathing, okay? All right, so single whip. Now we're here in single whip. Take a big breath all the way down through the belly. And then wave hands like clouds. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Feeling the abdomen expand and contract. This is 2. The last one, double wide. Nice deep breaths. Corner direction for single whip. Check on your breathing. High pat on horse. Separation kicks open. Step and cross. Separate. Closing the arms. Maybe we inhale and stand up. Look, exhale and kick. Bend and change. Nice deep breaths. Cross, separate. Closing the arms. Perhaps we inhale and lift. Exhale and kick. Bend the knee. Breathing, straighten the legs. Big breaths. Maybe we touch. And then inhale and lift. Exhale and kick. And release. Was it any different that time?
More relaxed.
Yes.
Better balance.
Yes. Okay. That's the key to Tai Chi right there. Okay. We talk about the applications and what the moves mean so that our mind has something to focus on, right? So that we're not kind of scattered brained. A lot of the times our mind already has a lot to focus on in terms of what our body, what we want our body to be doing. But if we just let go of everything and focus in on our breath, sometimes it changes our whole practice. It makes everything better. It relaxes the mind, the body, and everything, okay? That's what I wanted you guys to get out of that, all right? Yeah, Karen? No? Okay. So was the heel turn easier when you were breathing? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it again unless Yali has a question.
Well, no, it was. When I concentrate on breathing out, it was more stable.
Yes.
It wasn't as big as what I wanted, but it was more stable.
We're going for stable, right? That's what we want. We always want our lower body heavy and stable and our upper body light. And when we breathe down into our belly, it does that for us naturally. When we're breathing into our chest or we're not breathing at all, the energy gets caught up here. It's stuck, okay? But if we focus down, it naturally makes our balance better, whether we're thinking about it or not, okay? I'm gonna take a sip and then let's do it again. And I want you guys to focus on the breath again. Okay. Let's do from single whip, again, just the breath. That's all I want you to focus on. So single whip. Now here, take a big breath into your belly. We want your breath smooth, even, and continuous. Wave hands like clouds. Focus in, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Abdomen's expanding and contracting. Last one is double wide. Shoulder width. Single whip. High pat on horse. Check in with your breathing. Opening the arms. Crossed when we touch. Separate, weight moves forward. Big breaths. Maybe we inhale and stand up. Exhale and kick. Bend the knee, change the arms. Sink down. Cross, separate. Close. Maybe it's another inhale and lift. Exhale and kick. Bend the knee. Still breathing, straighten the leg. Turn. Heel, kick, bend the knee. Release. Was it even better that time?
Much better.
Yes. Okay, so your goal for this week, when you practice, let go of everything else that's going on and try to focus in on your breath the whole time, right? We talk about meditation as seated meditation most of the time, but Tai Chi is moving meditation. So it's a way for us to connect with our breath and just breathe while moving, okay? Try to find that this week as you practice.
Questions about the
Yes.
second separation kick.
Yes.
After you change hand, when do you close the arm?
Okay. All right. So I'll do it from this direction so you can see more. So we do our kick and we bend our knees and our arms change.
Mhm.
As we sit down, they don't change very much and we touch, I don't know if you see my feet, we touch with the heel. Then we're touching it fully, connected to the ground and they're crossed. And then it's weight forward and separate again. So it's similar to the first one, but it's the difference of being here, changing, sitting down, and then closing. The separation kicks are the only time in the form where there's kind of a little bit of a disconnect, because the first one, we turn, we close, we stand up, look, kick, bend, right? There's like a order of progression. Once you get into other forms, Master Yang changed it a little bit. So it's a standing, closing, and looking, okay? But here it's very much a very set sequence. And here's the same thing. Kick, bend, sit down, touching with the heel, whole foot's touching, and then separate, weights forward. Then from there, just like the other one, turn and close. We're looking where our arms are. Lifting up, look where our kicking leg is, and then kick.
So the second one, after, okay,
From there, sit down.
you sit down, you step out.
Yep. Weight moves a little bit forward so the arms are crossed. And then rest of the weight moves forward to do the separate. Yes.
Okay, so that's where it's unclear to me is, so is there, so you step out, not
So you-
completely,
Not completely. It's like a touch and then a completely step and root. And then full weight moves forward. So we're here, we touch, full root. So both feet are very connected, and then full weight forward.
okay.
Yes.
Okay,
And when you do this arm, a little more space. Just like a ward off arm at the end. When we separate, it should feel just like a ward off.
okay.
Okay? Yes. Yep, and then separate. So when we do the separate, hey, let me do it from this direction. I'm gonna do it the opposite way, okay? So mirroring you, okay? So we're here. When we cross, do you see how your left arm comes a little bit in? And then the separate is really your right arm coming across. It's across, okay? Yes. This movement is actually against a push. And I wish I had somebody to show you, because what happens is your arms are crossed like this, and then they open, right? Your opponent's arms start like this, and then they end up like this. Okay, so that's why we start with our arms crossed, and then it's really from here, it's your left arm separates. It's kind of wiping out. Yeah. So it's not like both arms are kind of like going this way, okay? Your left arm, or I mean, your right arm's pulling back just a little bit, and your left arm is sweeping out. So that's why it's a separate. They're going two different directions, or two different directions this way.
And
Yes.
Cheryl, is that considered splitting energy, or I think peng? Is that right?
Yeah, splitting energy.
Okay.
Two different directions, just like diagonal flying, parting the wild horse's mane, it's splitting. So we're going opposites.
Okay, thanks.
Good, Sam, very good.
Okay, I got that.
It's a
So
great question. It's a really hard movement. Yes, Yukiko, and then from there, separate, so they go opposite. Yes. Okay, that's what we mean by separate here. It's very important that no matter which one we're doing, we're showing that we're going from this closed position where we're fully crossed, and each one's going a little bit the other way. It's not like giant, like huge super movements, right? But no matter where it is, we're separating, because you're taking your opponent's arms and you're twisting them essentially, because they're straight and you've grabbed them with your arms crossed. So if your arms are crossed and you're going out to straight, then they're going to cross. It's a little crazy. But if you look for Master Yang, I think he has a video on YouTube that shows the application. And it might help understand why we cross, because white crane spreads its wings is the same thing against a push, where we're in this circle and our opponent's arms are in between. They're in this space in between my arms. And then I take their arms the opposite direction, okay? This is the same thing. Your opponent's palms are in this space right here between my arms, okay? And then I'm pulling them apart. And then from here, I close and cross their arms. That's what this is, okay? We are literally, we're catching our opponent and we're turning them to the side, and then we're crossing their arms. And then from here, it's like they're like bent over, like with everything fully exposed at that point. So that's the cross. So we separate, then we cross their arms, and then we kick in any of a dozen places that are probably available. Okay. All right.
I had a question. Is your right arm, when you're doing that, is it still in line with your right leg? Are you
When
trying
you end, final posture. The knee and the elbow will be in line in the final posture. Okay.
Okay.
But in the in-between movement, it's not over my knee yet, because remember, we're separating, we're pulling a little bit. So as I pull, that's when it lines up with my knee.
Okay.
So we're crossed, and then it lines up with my knee.
Okay. So it won't go too far back because you're making sure it's aligned. So you're going more that way. Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's everything's in front of us, right? It's all happening in this space, and then we're leaning into it.
Okay.
And this is the end checkpoint. And then when we turn and close, it stays right in that position. And our left hand just comes across. And then our body should be a corner or foot, well, less than corner, body and foot, same direction, so we can stand up and kick. Okay, let's do just single whip, separation kicks, heel turn. No wave hands like clouds this time, okay? So single whip. High pat on horse. Shift back, hook opens, touch with the toes, pull your opponent in, striking to the throat. Arms open, foot's in. Arms are crossed, the foot is touched. Separate the arms. Right arm comes across as you turn to meet. Stand up. Look. Separation kick. Bend the knee, change the arms. Sit down, touch, root and cross. Separate the arms, elbows over the knee. Left arm closes as your body turns. Stand up, look, left separation kick, bend the knee. Turning to your right, left arm's in ward off, right palm turns up, heel turn, and heel kick, bend the knee. How'd we do? Separation kicks, separations feel better? Yes. I can see such a difference from where everyone was 6 months ago. It's incredible. You guys are really putting in the work. You really are. And to learn via Zoom is the hardest thing you can do without having someone in front of you to mirror, to look at and compare to in person. All right. Any other questions on the kicks or the turns before we close class? All right, let's practice one more time. Single whip, wave hands, all the way through to the heel turn. Again, focus on your breath, okay? So let's find our single whip. As we're here, let's take a big breath all the way down into the belly and move into wave hands like clouds. Turning, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Waist is relaxed so the belly can expand and contract with each breath. Last one is double wide. Corner direction. Single whip. High pat on horse. Still breathing all the way down through the belly. Separation kicks. Kick up, open, step and cross. Separate. Close and turn. Maybe it's an inhale and stand up. Look, exhale and kick. Bend the knee, change the arms. Sitting down. Cross, separate. Turn and close the arms. Perhaps we inhale and stand up. Look, kick, bend the knee. Turning, straighten. Choose your method. Maybe we sit down. We inhale and lift up. Exhale, kick out, bend the knee. Okay. All right. Well, everyone, it was so great to see you today. Thank you so much for joining. So nice to see all of your faces again. So
Thanks,
Rita,
Cheryl. Great class.
Thank you very much.
thank you. Rita will be back next week, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, good to
Thank
see you,
you,
Sam.
Cheryl.
Thanks.
Thank
Great class.
Thank you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoyed your cheerful spirit. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.